Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of What's This Wednesday here on the channel, and this week we have the game Hover. Now, this game is a little different than some stuff I've covered before because it's kind of like a weird free runner slash parkour game where it's sort of similar to Jet Set Radio-ish, but you don't have like the inline skates kind of aspect. Instead, you've kind of just got your boots and like your little Game Boy on your hip and you run around and complete objectives. Now, the first area here is kind of large. You know, it starts you off in a training area, and you have this sort of hologram teaching you how to move, how to slide, how to wall run and jump. So it's got all those basic movement mechanics that you'd expect from a sort of a free runner slash, parkour style game. But then there's the unique mechanic of it where if you get enough energy in your meter, you'll start going into like an overrun sort of powered up state, and then everything you do becomes better. Your jumps become better, your top speed becomes faster, your sliding becomes slidier. You know, there's less friction, you can go faster. And so there's those basic mechanics that sort of make the game feel good. It also has this weird sort of Jet Set Radio future punk aesthetic where the colors are huge and neon, and you're kind of like in that cyberpunk-ish-esque dystopian future where, you know, the cops are clamping down on anything fun, and so now you're the group of rebels who's going to stop it by doing parkour. And so the plot's really just about that, you know, being punkish and doing punkish things and sticking it to the man. Stick it to the man, bro. So yeah, it's quite fun to just run around and grab on ledges and run along walls and do all that basic stuff, but they add in a little bit of extra flavor to the game by throwing in missions for certain characters. Now, it can be a little difficult to sort of, at the beginning, trigger the missions, because you talk to a person and it's like, so what do you say? And then it doesn't come up with like a prompt to say yes or no. What you have to do is you actually have to like scan the person again. And the scanning mechanic in the game is quite essential to everything. I mean, in order to interact with anything, you have to right or left click in order to scan something. It could be a person, it could be a container that contains loot that you can open up, it could be an objective. And so once you do that, it takes a little time to start initiating the quests or the objectives from certain objects. But once you get a hold of it, it's super easy and super quick. There's also like a restart mechanic where if you fail, it will transport you back to the NPC, so you can just start right back from there, so you don't have to worry about it. But the main caveat in this runner is that it has a rewind mechanic similar to that effect of Prince of Persia. So it doesn't like restore your health or anything, but it will rewind you back to like a previous position in a certain amount of time. So if you jump off a ledge and you miss the other side, you can rewind far back enough to where you're back on the other platform, maybe get a larger running start, and then try and make the jump. Or if you try and make a jump to a rail, you miss the rail, just rewind back, make the jump again. So it's got this cool sort of mechanic to where it makes it a little bit easier, because it'd be super punishing because the worlds are so vertical. Like the first world that you start in is so vertical that if falling all the way down would be super punishing, and it would take so much time to get back up. So the rewind mechanic sort of helps you with that in order to sort of keep things going and keep the flow of the game going, because this game certainly has a specific type of flow to it, and that's kind of where the charm of this game lies. You can slide while on the ground too, so there's like points and combos that you can do. So when you're running and you jump onto a rail and you jump off, if you're worried about your combo, you can actually hit the slide button again, which I believe is shift, and you press the left shift and you go around. I mean, it's going to be different if you use a controller too, but if you can slide on the ground, and then if you jump again, you'll do like a front flip, so that way you'll keep your point multiplier going. As far as I can tell, there hasn't been, in the first few hours, I've only played the first few hours, so this is kind of like a first impressions review, and so there isn't any additional tricks that I learned, but I sort of just went around sort of getting a feel, doing some side missions, doing some extra stuff to try and take in all of what the game had to offer. And speaking of some of the side missions, there are certain side missions where you might have to race certain characters, so if your speed stats aren't high enough, which, to backpedal just a little bit, this does have RPG elements, so you can equip certain stat boosting augments to your character, and your character can be color toned any type you want. I mean, I did the purple, green, orange thing because I wanted to look super neon and gross for this video, but hey, you know, make your character whatever you like. It does have a character creator option, so go nuts. But if your character doesn't have enough speed to keep up with certain things, you might not be able to win the race, so you're going to have to go around, find loot, complete other missions until you get a decent amount of loot. And if you're wondering, like, well, I've got a bunch of this junk loot, what do I do with it? There are actually terminals around the city that you can cash in 5 of lesser bits of loot in order to get like if you have 5 of the same thing, you'll hit like an 80% chance of getting an upgraded piece of loot out of it. So there is a recycling mechanic to where if you have just got a bunch of junk, you can maybe get something better. And then the more you trade up, the better gear you might get. And so there's that unique mechanic as well. There's also the unique mechanic in the actual like character like slotting screen, where certain slots will give you extra benefits if you put certain types of upgrades in them. So there's like run speed upgrades, jump upgrades, power upgrades, things like that. There's also pets you can get in the game which will follow you around and provide you with certain boosts, which are kind of cute. There's also graffiti sprays you can unlock, because tagging is kind of a thing in this game too. I didn't actually find a tagging mission, I was kind of hoping I might, but you can run around and throw your paint tag on places and such. And it's really just got a that unique, like I said, Jet Set Radio Future-esque feel to it with the whole spray painting, tagging, free-running aspect. It can also be online multiplayer for friends only or completely online, or you can just go solo and go offline, which I spent most of my time in offline because I just wanted to experience the game, get to learn it, and, you know, I wasn't sure how the online interactions would fare, because I'm never sure how online stuff would work as soon as I get into games. But yeah, so there's that whole RPG mechanics, and there's certain side missions like the racing missions. There's also like a basketball type side mission where you have to pick up a ball and throw it into a specific like point on a wall, usually on a wall, that in order to score points from the other team. So that's a cool like multiplayer mission you could do. There's also, I believe, create a mission, so you could create your own missions in certain areas, so you can put down these baskets wherever you want and create like crazy arenas for 2 teams to fight it out. It's kind of cool. There's also spy drones around the different areas of the city, so you have to find these drones and keep up with them. And if you fail to keep up with them, they'll reset to their original point, and you'll have to start all over again. Collecting them gives you, like, progress on a mission, and once you complete the mission, I guess you'll get a bunch of extra stuff, but there are multiple regions in the city, and they each have a certain amount of spy drones. So there is a collectathon aspect to this game, because there are other things to do, like you'll see anti-entertainment signs hanging off buildings, and if you smash them, there'll be like, you smashed 1 out of 17 signs, and then if you smash all 17, there you go, you'll get some bonus experience and points for your character. And there's also like containers to open up, find, and, you know, get the loot from them. You can unlock pets, you can unlock food for your pets to upgrade them to keep them full and happy, so that way they'll maybe like upgrade and whatnot. I didn't actually experiment too much with the pets, but they look cool, and you can get certain cool little kind of pets. You can even get sprays of pets, which is pretty decent for your graffiti. But all in all, the game's pretty simple. You run around and have a good time. There are certain areas of the city where you can like go super fast and just run off these boosters and get like some really sick grind speed. And yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a game that's kind of fast, got a good artistic style, go ahead and check out Hover. I believe I got this for free through chrono.gg from saving up my coins, and it just seemed to be unique, so I wanted to pick it up. I pick up a lot of What's This Wednesday games over on chrono.gg. That's not sponsored or anything, by the way. I just use the service every day. I go collect my coins and earn free games because, hey, free games. I'm not going to let you guys pass up on free games. Who do you think I am? I'm looking out for you. I know how hard it is sometimes when you're on a budget to be buying that one AAA game a month and then be like, man, I got nothing else to buy. Like, you know, there's not enough little games. Well, there you go. Now you got a bunch of little games to get over on chrono.gg. It's wonderful. Once again, that's not paid. I just really enjoy the service. I've been using it for years. So yeah, Hover's just this great parkour-esque game with that like neo-futuristic cyberpunk kind of deal. There's also a cool reference where you can pick up Game Girls off of the ground, because I guess the cops have been confiscating the Game Girls, which are like the Game Boy equivalent, their little gaming systems. And there's one NPC who wants you to pick them all up, and that's just another little bit of the collectathon aspect. So yeah, I mean, if you like the footage of what you're seeing and you think this might be a cool game for you to pick up, I enjoyed my time with it. I might not revisit it too much, maybe if I get the hankering, but it just didn't capture me all that much. But hopefully if you enjoy this and you like the way it sounds, hopefully it captured you as well. And that'll be all for this week's What's This Wednesday, and I appreciate everybody for coming through, coming on and checking out the videos. And if this was your first What's This Wednesday, yeah, I do these every random Wednesday, just whenever I feel like it and I have the time, and if I see a new game that sort of perks an interest, I'll play it, and I'll do like a quick little first impressions video for you. But thank you all for joining me once again on this random What's This Wednesday, and until next time, take care, everybody.